Atiku taking his frustration too far, says Wike's ex-aide Frank Shaibu. The PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar has been accused of taking the frustration of his 30 years of failed presidential bid too far. The Nation report that Marshal Obuzo, a former media aide to the immediate past Rivers Governor Nyesom Wike, said on Sunday that Atiku said the level that he has sunk politically, even Atiku will look Atiku in the mirror and pity Atiku for throwing away his brightest chance of ever becoming Nigeria's president on the altar of political arrogance. Atiku cut the figure of a very frustrated man deserving of pity. Obuzo was responding to Atiku's assertion made via his speech by his special assistant on public communication, Frank Shaibu, that Wike, who expressed gratitude to God for his survival after a poisoning episode, was actually sickened by alcohol rather than poisoned, as he claimed. He said, I came across an article in which the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar made a pathetic attempt to discredit the Thanksgiving service of former governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, through his special assistant on public communication, Frank Shaibu. The Nation report that his contention was that Wike, who was praising God for surviving a poisoning event, was actually sickened by drinking alcohol rather than being poisoned, as he had stated. The comment epitomizes childishness and betrays a mentality that has been hollowed out by defeat, agony, and bewilderment, which has caused it to become blind and deaf. If so, how or why should Atiku care about what a former governor says in his place of worship when he is alone with God? Any religiously observant individual should not have made Atiku's statement, since it offends not only the church but also the Islamic value of expressing thanks. However, even though Atiku lacks the religious piety to restrain his speech, his appreciation for medical science and common reason should have served as a sufficient guidance for him. He disregarded the plain truth that the poison verdict was based on a medical assessment. Furthermore, it was against logic for him to make his judgment without taking into account the symptoms listed and the nature of recovery. So in conclusion, it's just still Mr. Petty, that's Wike, upset about Atiku's choice for vice presidential candidate. I mean, that's the thing, and this is why the PDP wouldn't have won. I mean, the party was divided against itself, and then you have Wike, who basically went on a different kind of behavior when he wasn't vice presidential candidate. Atiku's doing his own thing, and yes, it is. Would you say it's shameful? Because for Atiku, I mean, again, she says 30 years. How many times? That means, how many times has Atiku been applying to be president and aspiring, actually, that's the correct word, aspiring, and still nothing? And yes, maybe to be honest, if Wike was his vice presidential candidate, they would have been a contender, to be very fair, because Wike has garnered a lot of support. He's actually a very liked person. But I think from the PDP trouble, from the primaries, that's when things started going down, because before the party could even get to campaigning, it was already divided against itself. Well, let's look at the top comments. Wike should leave Atiku alone. Why are you disturbing the man? You have done your worst. Leave him alone. Wike boasted of consuming 40 years old alcoholic drink. This may poison his kidney, liver, and associated organs. Many people do not believe that he was poisoned. Interesting. Wike's frustration has started showing already. The guy has been frustrated since last year. And again, his movements, the things, for example, he started, I think it was, he wanted to commission, or actually Samuel was going to commission something and then invited Wike. So Wike started, interacting with APC members, APC governors, And there were rumors that Wike had gone to see Tinubu abroad, whether it was in UK or in France. So what Wike started to do, which seemed or reflected his hurt from not being chosen, was he was basically moving like he was betraying the party. He was never there for important meetings or events. He never came out to support Atiku. He and other governors within the PDP, called the G5, basically made a group where they detested and, fought against the presidential candidates and whatever it is that they were trying to fight in the party. So it's the way he's been behaving. So then a lot of people then, have been associating Wike with being very childish and very sort of spoiled because he wasn't picked. But again, we don't know what's happening behind closed doors. We don't know if the plan was that he was going to be the presidential or vice presidential candidate. And then he wasn't chosen. And then, it then spirals into what's not meant to be. But it seemed like, now it seems like Wike and Atiku are really, they decide to settle it, but it seems like this misunderstanding, or I guess beef, as you'd want to say, is going to be long-standing, and they're going to have to learn how they're going to survive each other in the same space. Now, the PDP has also come out to say that it will expel individuals who have moved like betrayers, who are traitors, and who do not align with the party's values. So this could basically mean, it could literally mean the breakdown of PDP, because if Wike should leave the PDP, it would mean a lot, because within the PDP, Wike does have power, and even outside, especially with, the followers and those that are his supporters, he also has the numbers as well. So really, it would look very complicated, and I think the PDP are basically tired of having somebody who is indirectly just causing problems for the PDP. They're basically tired. But then they can't necessarily not follow due process and cause havoc by saying we're going to expel this person. They really have to build up their case. Put what you think in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.